Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Now, before officially beginning, I'm just gonna need your feedback to know that what I'm doing right now, the setup on YouTube and everything, connected to the OBS with my incredible experience in streaming, my first stream in live, that I'm not messing something up so that you're able to hear me. So if you can just have any kind of a comment, feedback in the live chat, just telling me that you can hear me, that this is actually running in a proper way, please do, because I have no idea if this is actually working. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, very nice. Perfect. Pax vobiscum and salvete omnes. Wow. Hello, everybody. As you probably do know, because most of you who are watching this live are definitely already, well, acquainted with me and my work during the last year, some even from the beginning, and some just recently, doesn't even matter. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dominican Priest Plays first live stream of the channel. Now, this is a celebratory moment, I guess. The celebration is kind of threefold, I think. So I really wanted to wait for the channel to actually accrue to gain the 40,000 subscribers. I had no idea how long that would take, but I knew like first major event or first kind of live stream to connect with you guys to directly read. Hi everybody, I'm reading the chat, everybody. So I just wanted to, that I started with Warhammer 40k. This channel was originally, okay, I'm going to do something to kind of connect with the gamer community, especially playing a game that I never played, but still being acquainted with computer games in general, CRPGs specifically, or RPGs in general. Definitely anything Dungeons and Dragons or basically tabletop connected. But yeah, why not going into the grim dark, into something which I know it exists, and I have friends who play that, who are like maniacs for that, but I never liked it too much. It was a little bit too dark, and I want to, do something new and allow everybody on the internet who wants to have the experience of seeing me going into something new and just reacting, expressing my opinions, and etc. etc. Yeah, so this is 40,000 subscribers on 40,000 Warhammer 40k. So it's one connected to the other. That's the first reason for the celebration, I guess. And the other one is definitely that one of the videos is actually over 1 million views. And it's not Warhammer 40k, it's actually the Fallout New Vegas, the Joshua Graham character, which one of my friends, who is actually the person who is a maniac for Warhammer 40k, he recommended me to watch Joshua Graham, that it's kind of popular, a lot of people are commenting or being inspired or obsessed even with Joshua Graham. I said, yeah, sure, I can kind of maybe deviate a little bit from the original intention of the channel and see how that goes. And yeah, that kind of blew up. Now, I don't know if you know, but there is a place, there is a moment in time when I actually published that video. That was on the 7th of August. That was evening, 7th of August during the evening. And that would be an eve, we could say an eve of the Feast of St. Dominic, because when the night falls, the liturgical prayers in the Catholic Church are already from the next day, right? So the next day was St. Dominic. I am belonging to an order of St. Dominic. I'm a Dominican, right? So on the day of St. Dominic, on August the 8th, when the church is celebrating the feast, the actual explosion of the views happened. I was like, what's happening? And why do I have, like, at the end of the day, over 100,000 views or 200,000, something crazy? I mean, I was glad, but I was scared, man. Like, I don't want, like, too much popularity immediately. I don't know how to handle it. I'm more like, what I like more is just kind of for the community to grow slowly, to stay connected, to understand in more like normal way. And yeah, just have a more human, normal interaction. You know what happens when people get suddenly famous? It kind of hits their head in a way and they become disconnected with reality. I mean, I'm a priest, Catholic priest. I'm a public persona. So maybe I'm a little bit more acquainted with being on the spotlight in a way. But nonetheless, I know Catholic priests who became a little bit too popular because, you know, they're talented, they're young, they're handsome even, because people are shallow. I mean, not necessarily in a bad way, but I mean, if you're more younger and more handsome, of course, there will be more, you know, attention directed towards you. And if they're good preachers and if they're intelligent and they're talented on the social media, yeah, that can be a lot of attention, which is for younger priests especially dangerous. We need maturity. Anyway, so that exploded and that was crazy, but I'm grateful because there's a lot of people who watch that and I know it helped a lot of people. And it was the primary reason why I started this channel, to help, you know, to yes, engage with the community. But, you know, if I can say one word, God acting through me, through a couple of words that I said, someone watches that, someone listens. It can be just fun, entertaining. It can be educative, it can be like informational, but it can also be inspiring. It can also be something that God uses for conversion. And I know that some of you guys actually had the experience of really God touching you through some of my videos, some of the things that I said. It's not account of me, but I kind of contributed to that, helped, and I know it's a grace. I know that I'm thankful for that. I cannot say like, yes, that's me. It's God working, but God chooses to work through us. And it's His glory, and it's our honor to participate in His glory. So that's cool. And the third thing is this channel is now a little bit more than 1 year old. So it's a baby toddler channel, 1 year old. But yeah, that's kind of crazy because I don't know if you guys know, but when I started the channel, I had a couple of priest friends, Dominicans as well in Croatia, who told me that that idea was kind of cool. I could, you know, Warhammer, start doing that, engage with the community. It's like a market that, it's a niche market maybe, like speaking in economical terms, but I studied actually economy or international business before going into Dominicans. That's another story. Maybe one time I'm going to share a little bit about my history more, if you guys are interested. But anyway, if I go there, I'm definitely going to be able to connect with people with whom other people have not connected. Basically, the church is not active in those places. And I don't want to be in a weird way present. I just want to be myself and just be normal, like things that I like, and that's computer games, among other things. Be genuine, be authentic, and yes, just say when I want to say things about God, but not in a forceful manner, in a normal, you know, spontaneous, normal manner. Like, it has to be normal. Anyway, so 1 year is a lot, and my provincial told me provincial is like the boss, my Croatian boss, so to say, and he's elected for 4 years. It's a 4-year term, and I asked him if that is okay, because I need permission for something like that. I have my vow of obedience, which I gave as a religious person. So if he says yes, okay, I can do it. If he says no, yeah, okay, I have to stop, and that's okay. That actually gives me the freedom. I'm more free if I have the vow of obedience, because I know that what I'm doing, yeah, God approves through other people. Anyway, he said, yes, okay, Mislav, you can do that, but, what's the but? The but is, if I'm going to start with that, I have to have continuity. I have to do that. It's not like I do one video, then for like 3 weeks I don't do anything, and then I do 2 videos, then 1 month nothing, and then 6 months nothing, and stuff like that. I need continuity, and I needed to hear that, because trust me guys, I rarely have continuity in things in my life. Yeah. So, he helped me with his statement for continuity. So that's the reason why I have so many videos right now. I threw a bunch of videos. It's I'm kind of proud for that. And without support from you guys, I'm telling you 100% I would not have made it. I'm not kind of doing this just to make you feel better. I do want to make you feel better, but I'm not like hyping it up or saying something which is not true, because there were moments when I was, really down and I did not receive approval from the people around me. And then just like a random message on YouTube comes, and someone sends me like how much did this like actually impacted him or her, and that he's so thankful, and that he or she wants me to continue with this. And that would be like immediate change. God allowed those kind of moments because everything is in his providence. I see his work here. God waited for me to become more depressed and then send me those kind of messages. So yeah, let me just quickly see the things that you are writing, so to show that I'm not ignoring you. So Mr. Awesome Poops, I think the church needs to be better connected with the young, because if we don't, evil will. Well, yeah, I mean, we are like sponges, aren't we? So we consume things around us, and we need good environment, healthy environment which will help us to flourish if we want to flourish. So what we eat, that's what we become. We need good environment and we need good people around us. And I want to be a good person in my life in order to help other people. And I also, from a like positively selfish way, want to surround myself with good people as well. That's why I entered the Dominican community. That's why I'm here in Rome right now studying. Like, that's an incredible milieu of incredibly capable people, way more capable than me in many aspects. But that's why I can grow. I like to not to be the smartest person in the room, right? Or the most virtuous person as well, because I can learn a lot from other people. And yeah, the young especially are in need of, role models. I was in a need of role models. It was very hard for me to find, someone to look up to. I never managed to completely, actually. The one whom I discovered in the end was, Jesus Christ. Maybe it's a weird, maybe I'm saying it in a weird way, but that's actually part of my conversion. Just really looking, I'm seeking, searching, what do I have to be? Not just what do I have to be like, but what do I have to become? Who do I have to be? What is the best version of myself? What is the best role model? And in the end, I could not run away from Jesus Christ because, there's no one better actually. So, we definitely need to connect with the young. That's true. That's true. For some reason, my YouTube name, I feel like isn't appropriate enough for this stream. Gonna change it quick. Definitely an anime girl. That's your YouTube name. I don't know. It doesn't sound crazy. Hi, Eva. Eva 1001. Dr. Peppy. Congrats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Crusader Pioneer. Greetings, Father. I'm happy seeing you have 40,000 subs. First time seeing you from the reaction. Followed. Yeah. Okay. Joshua Graham. A lot of people saw this channel first from Joshua Graham because that's how I gain exposure to my channel through that. Also, yeah, just that's, I guess, what God wanted me. Byron Captain Guy. So I'm real happy to see you here. I know that you're an atheist, and I'm praying for your conversion, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very happy you've been here on this channel really since the beginnings on the Rogue Trader playing game, and I always enjoy your comments. And to be honest, your questions I really enjoyed always. It's not like just provocative questions, which some people do, but you're not hiding who you are. I respect that. I'm not hiding who I am either. And I like it when you really want to engage, when you ask honest questions. That makes me stop and think and try to find the best way to answer, to be honest, genuine, but not forced. Anyway, you're helping me with your questions as well. And I'm happy to be part of your journey, I guess. Yeah. So thanks for the support, definitely. All right, there's just a lot of good evening from Italy, Father. Okay, clubbered one. So we have more Italians or simply people in Italy here. Nurasama content AI VTuber. Yeah, I'm. So that's from Drop Barracuda question. I am interested in reacting to more. Actually, probably I will now that I have a little bit more time. Yeah, yeah. Damned man says, hello, looking at anime girl and comparing it to my name is funny. Yeah, damned, but not with the D-A-M-D-E-D, but D-A-M-M-D. Yeah, well, I don't judge weird or stupid names, especially if you created a channel a long time ago. You know what's actually the name of my like first channel or the original channel? Well, the base of the name is actually a Lazy Peček. Peček is my last name, Croatian last name. Well, it's pronounced Peček, but I write Pecek, which would be like, because you cannot write the... Anyway, in English, it's Lazy, P-E-C-E-K, Lazy Peček. That's in my old name. I've had it in my mail as well, and I had it for like over a decade, way more, like 15 years probably, even before where I studied, and everybody was always laughing. But yeah, I don't care. It's part of my identity, I guess, and it's a good reminder for me to be less lazy, because I'm always kind of struggling with that. Slava Christu. Yes, Slava Christu, indeed. Comes perpetus. Glory be to Christ. That's the name, the meaning of Slava Christu. It's 2 p.m. in Texas. Well, hello. Hello, Texas. You're cooking barbecue ribs on a grill. Sounds awesome. Drinking mango margaritas, maybe. Yeah, having fun. Mother Cabrini Shrine in Golden. Beautiful. Okay, guys. So I have a couple of ideas for this stream. I'm gonna ask you for just direction or suggestions, maybe, for what to do, because I kind of chose a couple of videos, shorter videos, to watch together with you guys. And so that's like part of this stream. I also want to just answer to your questions. That's why I'm having the stream, just to be able to read the questions and answer directly, because we didn't have that kind of engagement before. Any type of a question, okay? As long as there's no profanities inside, I don't care. Pose any question. If it's a stupid question, I'm gonna say, sorry man, that's a stupid question. And that's it. Like, yeah, you don't have to be formal with me, and not in this kind of an environment. So that's completely fine. Just be yourself. If you're interested, ask a question. So I'm thinking, I chose, like, I have 10 different videos that we could watch, depending on what you guys want. I'm planning to react to those videos sooner or later anyway, so we can just do it inside of the stream immediately, why not? And yeah, doing just the question and answers other than that. But since I have not prayed at the beginning of this stream, I think I should pray right now to make it like the official beginning of the stream. And yeah, I'm gonna pray Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory Be. And I'm gonna, yeah, I can do it in different languages. So I'm first gonna pray Our Father in Croatian, in Latin, Hail Mary, Ave Maria, and in English, since the channel is English, Glory Be. Okay. U ime Oca I Sina I Duha Svetoga. Amen. You can guys pray with me if you are Christian, or yeah, just enjoy and watch. Oče naš koji jesi na nebesima, sveti se ime Tvoje, dođi kraljevstvo Tvoje, budi volja Tvoja kako na nebu, tako i na zemlji. Kruh naš svagdanji daj nam danas i otpusti nam duge naše, kako i mi otpuštamo dužnicima našim, i ne uvedi nas u napast, nego izbavi nas od zla. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. Nice. So, I have a couple of ideas for the videos. It's Warhammer 40k videos, and I have a couple of options for the Warhammer 40k. So there's like a new, couple of days ago, 5 days ago, some kind of a new trailer, No Peace Amongst the Stars, Warhammer 40k official cinematic trailer. It has already like 3.9 million views. It's kind of crazy. So a lot of fans over there. So there's that option. And together with that, we have Iron Within, Iron Without, about Iron Warriors. It's just like less than 15 minutes long video. And I remember just a long time ago saving a couple of videos which talk in a very kind of funny but good way about the four chaos deities. Nurgo doesn't love you, Slanesh doesn't want something with you, something like that. The names are kind of provocative and interesting. So also like 10-15 minutes videos analyzing the dangers or the stupidities of the chaos deities and why you should not believe their lies or manipulations were they saying. So those are the options for Warhammer 40k. So if you're interested in those kind of things, we can do the Warhammer 40k. Of course, we can combine a little bit of this and that. All right. Okay. Drop Barracuda. Thank you for the donation. Do you ever imagine yourself as a giraffe eating tiny trees when eating broccoli? No, but since you just wrote this, probably next time I'm gonna be eating broccoli, I'm gonna have a very vivid association of a giraffe or myself as a giraffe doing that. So thank you for that image which you planted in my brain. Okay. Gusta, I was an atheist as well, says Battery. My whole life until I was 26. Okay, wow. I actually converted when I was 26 as well, almost 27. I'm 28 now. I was baptized into the church this last Easter. Congratulations. Wow. Congratulations. That's beautiful. Yeah, actually, I had my conversion when I was 26. I did receive the sacraments in the Catholic Church, but yeah, even before my confirmation, when I was 15, I already basically lost the faith or was not living the faith. Definitely not wanting to, you know, live by the book. So I had more like a wilder life, really. Okay, so anyway, Iron Within for sure. Gotta support Peter Turbo. Okay, I had some good agreement. I'm down for some iron. Okay, you guys, it seems that you like some of you at least, the Warhammer options. Other than that, someone a couple of days ago, just when I announced that this stream is gonna be, immediately someone, I think, messaged that I should watch a video of Bartolomé de las Casas, Changing Your Mind, European History, Extra History. That's the YouTube, the name of the video. It sounds interesting. By the way, Bartolomé de las Casas was a Dominican. And he's, what I know about him, I don't know a lot of things. He also had a conversion experience. He was already a priest, by the way. No, was he a priest? Or just a regular guy who started hating the treatment that the conquistadors did to the indigenous people, and he advocated that they are persons, they have the same level of dignity as we do, and yeah, he had a major conversion experience. He became a Dominican, and we can thank him a lot for today's international, whatever it's called, for the human dignity and human rights and stuff like that. Big guy. So actually, I would like to watch that. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that definitely. So that, okay. What else? Yeah, I had planned some disclosing private information. Oh, it's not that private. I'm just did not say that to anybody. I was planning for a couple of months now, just didn't have the time to make like a series of shorter and then a big a video connected with the Crusades. Because yeah, I started with the Black Templars of Warhammer 40k in general, you know, the crusading kind of mentality. The Catholic Church has a credible history and very controversial history, and I like my controversies because I learn through them as well. And I do like to see the nuances where people are just, yeah, misguided or went into weird stuff. We need to speak together and, yeah, discover the truth together slowly. But definitely that Crusades are or have been in the recent decades something that was completely vilified, right? That's like negative. The Catholic Church, barbarians, slaughtering poor people, etc., etc. recently there has been a resurgence of guys who starting to rediscover history or support the Crusades, sometimes a little bit too much, okay, maybe glorifying even the parts of the Crusades which should be condemned, because there is a lot of sin and human idiocy even within good campaigns. So we can make distinctions. Dominicans, good Dominican, good Thomist, one who follows the theology of St. Thomas Aquinas, always makes distinctions. So I love making distinctions. Okay. Biakas2145, thank you for the $5. Christian symbols and or Bible verse as tattoos. Oh, okay. Immediately controversial. Oh, okay. What's my opinion? And this is my birthday month. Okay, if you have not yet had your birthday this month, happy birthday soon. Or if you already had it, yeah, happy birthday. And so what's my opinion about tattoos? I'm kind of divided on that. So I wanted to have tattoos before on myself. I had some weird plans what to make. But later on, as time progressed, I gave up on that, and especially after the conversion and entering in the religious order. I'm not against tattoos. I know a lot of people with tattoos. I think oftentimes people don't think enough when making the tattoos. They are permanent, or, well, not necessarily permanent, but it's crazy expensive to get rid of them if they're proper tattoos. So you should be very prudent. And yeah, they are symbols, right? So you actually put it very in a very good way. And it does matter what they symbolize. So you tattoo some kind of a Christian symbol, yeah, it points to something which is Christian, or points to Christ in a way, or Bible verses, depends on the Bible verse. I mean, you can choose a Bible verse out of context and put it somewhere, and it's just gonna be stupid, or even weird or dangerous, I don't know. So it depends. Yeah, it really depends. I would make a distinction. Yeah, first of all, if you want to make a tattoo, take your time, okay? Just don't choose that immediately. Take your time, let it sit. Pray on it, okay? It's your personal decision. The church does not condemn tattoos as such. That's very important. The church does not condemn that. The Catholic Church never said you cannot do it, that's immoral. Now, but you are your body as well. So our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit if we're living in grace, and we have to respect our bodies. We have to take care of our bodies. So it doesn't matter what we do with our bodies. It's not irrelevant. So I would just like you to have that in your mind and to know that it's going to be permanent. So if you're going to do it, think about it a lot. And it's a symbol, and it will point to something. So if you in the end choose to put some kind of a symbol on your body, if you think you need it, yeah, just be careful about that. I remember one guy 2 years ago coming, the young guy converted, became a Christian. He was more like a Satanist before. So he was really worried about the tattoos that he got or had, even though he made new tattoos upon that tattoos, because he had like reverse pentagram with a satanic image. And then he tattooed, I think, Saint Michael the Archangel, like on top of that. So in order to not just to blacken it all, but to like add an additional imagery, that changes the thing completely, definitely. So I think that was a good idea. I would still not recommend anyone to just have that kind of imagery on their body. I don't think it's necessary. So yeah, I hope I was not too vague. I'm sorry for not being able to give a concrete yes or no. It depends on the case. If I would know you, like if I know a person more intimately, if I could make more concrete suggestions like, no, that's not for you, don't do that. Or yeah, it's also different if you already have like 20 tattoos on your body, I guess. Yeah, anyway, good question. Thanks for the question. Thanks for showing my incapability for giving a concrete answer. Okay. Crusades were always misunderstood because we Christians don't control the mainstream. Only when the people really research about a crusade. Well, partly true. Partly true. It's very hard to speak about those kind of things. Someone controls the narrative, usually. And the internet today, yeah, it's different. You cannot control the narrative anymore. You know, mainstream media, I think we all know that, are losing their control in an incredibly fast pace. Just the ability for me to just go outside and have a public voice, and for you to just be able to listen to me without someone controlling it in some very strict, specific fashion, it's an amazing thing. No one ever thought that that's going to be possible. So the influx and the exchange of exchange is the key word there. Exchange of information is really the key thing. So even we're not going to be immediately correct about everything, but that doesn't necessarily matter. We want to reach the truth. We want to go there together. So if I'm wrong in something, yeah, I have you to be my corrective, and vice versa. That's the idea of a community. So we grow together. We go towards truth, okay, together. Holiness, God, etc. Okay. So that's the Crusades, and I have a couple of videos about Crusades. Why the Crusades were awesome, actually. That's maybe the most famous video about the Crusades, and I did watch it, but a long time ago. And I have no idea how I'm going to react to it right now, whether I'm going to agree or disagree with aspects of that. So I would like to rediscover that video from PucksTube is the name of the channel, together with you guys. Then there is a cute video, something about also Crusades, but like you wouldn't last like 1 second fighting against the Crusader or something like that. Just the training regime, I guess, and the capability of the Crusaders, how physically and mentally they were in shape. So I'd like to check that as well. In the end, after doing a couple of Crusade videos and probably adding like into the fold of that later on, not today, the Black Templar reaction for the Warhammer 40k, like the full longer video from not sure yet which channel, but I think I have the link saved somewhere. Then I would actually like to do my first full movie reaction. I've never done a movie reaction because it takes a long time, but it's a long movie, and I think it's it would be very interesting to do that. And that would be Kingdom of Heaven, actually. Yeah, the Crusades. Orlando Bloom, Edward Norton. Yeah, I think you guys would appreciate if I did that, to be honest. Yeah. Pirate Captain Guy, you're asking, would you consider reacting to some science videos? Like, for example, Kurz gesagt, the Super Voids episode. It's vids like that. It showed the enormity of the universe and to me the smallness of religion. Absolutely, I would be open to reacting something like that because faith and reason have to go together. They're like two wings with which we fly towards God. And if we speak about religion in a proper way, not in a weird, miscued way how, I don't know, usually the media wants us, or I guess the mainstream narrative usually presents the religions, especially, you know, the four horsemen of the atheist apocalypse that were very active in the early 2000s. So the idea of irrational Christianity or irrational religions in general. Catholic Church was never like that. So reason, God gave us reason. With reason, we discover truth. Our intellect is wired in order to seek truth. So everything that is scientifically correct has to go in accord with the revealed truths that we received through Jesus Christ directly from God. Because God created everything, including the physical laws. God cannot go against himself. It's not like there is one level of truth and there is another level of truth and they can go against each other. That was actually a very interesting medieval debate, and there were primarily Muslim philosophers who advocated for the theory of two truths. Even today, you have Muslim who will kind of side that way, you know. Quran says one thing, but science says another. And that's possible because God allows two levels of truth. It can both be in the same way. No, that's impossible. So there is one God and he created everything. There is truth cannot go against the truth. Okay. Thanks, Ex Libris, for $5. I think a reaction to the movie The Book of Eli starring Denzel Washington would be fun. I agree. That could be fun. I watched that movie a long time ago, 10 years at least, more, maybe 20. I don't know how old the movie is. yeah, I will not spoil for those who have not watched it. I remember just one thing about the movie, and there's like a major thing about the movie. It's a good movie. Denzel Washington is a really good guy, a good actor. He's a Christian, Protestant, he's one of those rare Hollywood kind of a guys who stayed normal and stayed Christian throughout everything, and that's rare. That's really rare. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, if I'm gonna just constantly, exclusively see your comments, I'm never gonna react to any of the videos. So maybe I should just do a video reaction now and then comment a little bit of again. What do I think about atheists? Terminal Loves 3.31 says, it's a weird question. What do I think about atheists? Most of my friends growing up were atheists, and a lot of them still are. So it's kind of a misleading question. What do I think about people in general? I try to love in a proper way everybody. I know that God exists and that He wants us all to be happy, flourishing, and He is the source of happiness, of goodness, of flourishing. So if we want to really be happy, we need to be united with Him. There's no other way. And yeah, He created us to be free. We are free to choose whether to love or reject love, to choose Him or reject Him as well. Of course, we need some kind of rational reason to believe in God. I agree completely. I'm not a voluntarist. I'm not a fideist, someone who would kind of say we don't need reason, we just need to believe and that's all. Yeah, we need to believe, but our faith has to be grounded upon something concrete, okay? My process of conversion was always, before actually believing, I needed some rational standards. I needed something I can kind of get a grip. I needed to know rationally that it makes complete sense that God exists. You know, the first mover, the unmoved mover, what Aristotle already said, and Thomas Aquinas reiterated it in a more fancy way, in a better way. Someone who is the ground of all reality, because just look around us. We exist. What is existence as such? It's kind of crazy thing. Nothing needs to exist. It's like contingent, everything, nothing around us. We don't need to exist, yet we do. Why is that so? And if we just go, just even temporarily back to time, and the first moment of something existing, why did something start existing? Just, those kind of questions, they troubled me since my puberty. Just being a teenage guy, thinking about deeper questions that I can understand, like what is time, what is meaning, what is God, the concept of God, the connection between science and faith. Absolutely always fascinated me because I grew up in a household which my mom was a math teacher, so mathematics. Yeah, it was always normal for me. My father was a computer programmer, and then like the early generation of computer programmers. So science was always something that's very normal for me in my household. And a lot of people I know, smart people, good people in a way, are atheists. I want them to become believers, for them to realize that, there's nothing in opposition between science and faith. If the faith is proper, and if science is not, scientism, perceived in a religious manner, if we don't reject the possibility of supernatural, if we're not philosophically inclined or determined to view everything through a materialist fashion, nothing supernatural can even exist. I mean, if you don't make those kind of premises, if you're open to the existence of God, to the reality of the supernatural, something behind what is seen and perceived with our five senses, I think you're gonna achieve that level of knowledge which you need. God's gonna take care of you. So what do I think about atheists? I love people. I try to love everybody, especially those people who it's harder to love. And I want everybody to convert and to be happy. I want everybody, especially you guys here, because you are in a special way in my heart. It is simply as it is. I want you all guys to be together with me in eternity, not just here, but in eternity, because we carry immortal souls. Our intellect, our will, it's something that's immaterial. It functions through our material bodies. It's not completely disconnected from it. We are both spirit and body. Anyway, any opinions on different types of crosses? No, no specific opinions. There are different types of crosses. I like my Dominican type of a cross. I always like crucifixes. To be honest, I love when the Corpus Christi, the body of the Christ, is shown on crosses, because on crosses it's a direct symbol. Yeah, evokes the Passion of Christ in a special way. Yeah, the symbolism is important. So different crosses can point to different things. For example, the cross of St. Peter, okay? The inverted cross, the original meaning of the cross was just, it points to St. Peter. We remember the sacrifice, the martyrdom of St. Peter. But most people who carry inverted crosses today, yeah, they don't care about that, or don't even know that. They are sending a different message to being like the anti-Christian. They invert the cross, and they think they're cool about that. Or it can be some other symbolism as well, even for inverted crosses. Depends what meaning do you want to convey with the specific thing you're doing. Okay. I wonder if St. Peter gets mad about that. Well, that's a hilarious question. Well, he's in heaven. I don't think he gets mad. Does he raise an eyebrow? Well, he does not yet have a resurrected body, so because we Christians, Catholics believe in the resurrection of the body at the end of time. We're gonna have our bodies as well in heaven. And I have no idea how that's going to look like, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So St. Peter cannot raise his eyebrow yet. Anyway, so I suggest, okay, first question. What do you guys think? Should we first watch a Warhammer video, whichever? It can be the iron stuff or just the short trailer. Or should we watch something about the Crusades? Or number 3, okay, let's have 3 choices. The third choice would be the Bartolomé Las Casas, because I do want to watch that, and a little bit of a historical, the conquistadors and what's happening over there. So one of those 3 choices, just right over there. If I see the highest number of votes or ideas, what do you want? I'm gonna choose that. Probably most of you don't care, but nonetheless. Oh, and also, by the way, okay, if you say 1, 2, 3, okay, 3 I think was Las Casas, 1 was I think Warhammer, 2 was in Crusades. Okay, you're divided. Warhammer, a literal image of a hammer. That's very creative. Drop Barracuda. I like that. I like that a lot. Of course, Pirate Captain Guy, you're gonna say Warhammer. I'm down for one. Okay. Well, we're gonna do the Warhammer first. I'm gonna do the trailer. And yeah, there is also one video which I'm gonna show, and it's a very cute thing which one person did. I'm not gonna say who that is unless that person wants to reveal who that person is. But one of you guys or girls, I don't know, I know, but doesn't matter, did a kind of collection, video collection of the things, my videos, kind of an image way, and sent that to me on my 40,000 subscribers. I just watched like 2 minutes of that, and I found it very endearing and hilarious in some points. It's like a 10-minute video. So I actually asked that person, is it okay for me to show it like publicly and watch together with you? So for you can get just my honest reaction. Yeah, so I want to share that with you guys as well, if you guys want that, but no, I'm gonna do that nonetheless. Anyway, let's do the Warhammer first, because I was interested about the Warhammer stuff, the Warhammer video even before. I kind of waited for this kind of a stream to actually happen. Okay, I am currently inside of the beginning of the video. I just want a confirmation from you guys. And this, I'm in YouTube. Can you see me being present in a YouTube? Just say yes or no, just to be sure that I am in a proper way. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yes, you can see it? You can see YouTube? Ah, ching ching. Okay, that's good. Because I'm so stressed. I cannot believe, by the way, I'm kind of stressed about streaming because I don't have the experience. And then what if I'm doing something which I see but you don't see, and I kind of rant for 15 minutes while you have no idea what's happening? Anyway, okay, everything is fine. Okay, let's enjoy. I'm gonna put this here. Let's go. Oh, and yeah, it's good. Okay. The war between gods. I wonder who are those gods he's referring to in this case. Who would be the gods? Maybe like different races or the leaders of the races, because usually, well, the angels are the Astartes. They're like because they're connected with the emperor. Who, no, of course, gods. Maybe just the chaos deities. Who else could it be? I guess they're closest to something like a god inside of that. Far from the idea of a Christian god, more like to an idea of a Greek god, definitely, but someone who is very much, human, with human emotions and human sins, human weaknesses and frailties. But yeah, anyway, let's continue. Nice animation, by the way, of course. Million worlds? That's crazy. Oh, I hate that. Nice action. Nice, beautiful animation. I love seeing that. It's one of the best aspects of Warhammer. The whole story is the actual visual aspect of it. I mean, the story depends on the aspects of some stories and who is the actual writer of the story, because it's not always that deep or interesting. Sometimes it is, but not always. But what's always very engaging and fun is the visual aspect. It's very appealing, it sucks you in. And it's kind of crazy, it's just the idea of like there are untold billions of races, not of races, but of, racial specimens, humans and other races as well, living over there. And so the feeling of like, it doesn't really matter what I do, what am I in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it's something similar to the question which one of you actually posed, right? The grandness of the whole universe, and what are we to that? Well, depends. If there's someone who can see each and every one of us simultaneously, someone who is outside of space and time, so in a way who can see everything inside of all space and time, like on one big sheet at the same time, in a way. It's very hard to speak in non-temporal way, isn't it? But yeah, someone who is outside of space and time, the creator of space and time, he knows you very intimately and very personally, regardless of how many of us are or were or will be, and how big the universe is, because it's still finite. it's still something that has a specific, you know, mathematical number, what is expressed with c. We would say in mathematics like some absolute number c. It's still a number. It's still not infinity. Just the concept of infinity is kind of crazy for us. But yeah, I mean, Warhammer 40k definitely kind of pushes us in even more to the nth potency of like a vast space, and no life means anything, and it's all war and slaughter, and let's try to find meaning among all that. Ah, the Imperial Titans. For Arcadia! So there's a lot. I see Chaos Marines over here. I see Tyranids now jumping around. Definitely the Imperial soldiers, they are the most numerous ones. And just only humans, so to say. So their courage kind of goes a long way. We can all kind of feel for them in a special way. Yeah, that's the idea. You mean nothing. It really doesn't matter what you do. Well, have you ever heard of a butterfly effect? Even within an incredibly vast universe, just a small flutter of a butterfly's wings can slowly ascend to something incredibly greater. Well, there's a... So this, where was it? The face of... what is it? The face of the Emperor. That's what I want to see. Is that the Emperor? I don't think I've ever seen like the Emperor's face. That's why I'm asking. Okay, guys. The new edition begins in stores. Okay, new edition. So it's a big thing from the Games Workshop, I guess. So that's the basically what, the tabletop, right? The proper thing. All right. Okay. Just want to. What? There was no sound? Oh, God! I knew it. I knew it. Okay. Who is the expert in these kind of things? How do I make the butterfly? Oh boy. The Vox canals have been disturbed indeed. Okay, at least you could hear me, that's true, but you cannot hear the video. What is the way? Does anybody know actually? You are forgiven. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a little bit less ashamed right now because of your... I'm using OBS, that's correct. I'm using OBS. Send for the Mechanicus and their priests. Unfortunately, I don't have any Mechanicus priests over here. I have just regular priests in my community. Look at the input of the sound. Well, I'm hearing the sound just fine. So, that's... I guess, I mean, I can check the the stream service, stream key, everything here, audio channels. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to kind of resolve this kind of issue. Salve Maria, Viva Cristo Rey. Viva Cristo Rey. You're a blessing, Father. Love your videos. Greetings from Brazil. Well, Gabe CBM 3113, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, well, at least one positive thing, an outcome of this is that I know that there's something wrong. So, for the next time, hopefully there will be the next time, I'll find a way how to fix that. Okay, well, it was really nice to see you react in real time, and it became really fun when we had no clue what they were saying in the video. That's kind of hilarious as well. Wow, thanks Jen, thank you for the $20. Blessed your audio, blessed by your audio settings and your wonderful contact, Father Pacek. Well, yeah, it's not Pacek, it's P-E, that's like C with a crown, E-K, but close enough. Your videos are a place of knowledge and warmth, and I look forward to each one. Laudetur Jesus Christus semper laudetur. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you. Yeah. I will not lie. I'm kind of embarrassed right now because I don't know if you remember, just before actually playing the video, I said like my worst nightmare is I'm actually doing something and you have no idea what I'm doing. I'm ranting for 15 minutes about something, and in the end it seems like you never saw or heard something, and that actually happened. So thank you for God. Thank you, God. This is a moment for my humility. And I guess that's healthy, you know, just to be humbled sometime. It was funny. Well, I guess you were laughing at that time. You know what? I'm going to cut this out later on, and I'm going to post it as a legit video, like a legit video reaction. But at this moment, it would be weird if I continue actually doing reactions. Because whatever I put, you're not going to be able to hear that, to see that. That's going to be... yeah, weird. Haven't you taken a vow of poverty, Father? We will be kicked out if we send too many donations. Thank you. I will not be kicked out. Because, why? All the income from the YouTube channel, unless my superior, my boss, tells me otherwise, is sent to some of the communities inside of Croatia, actually. So all the income so far I've been sending into a convent in Zagreb. There's a capital. There's a parish over there. Parish is called Our Lady of Rosary. Or, it's called actually Kraljica Svete Krunice. It will be the Queen of the Holy Rosary, direct translation. So we have students over there. It's also a parish. And yeah, they always need extra help, so I'm doing that. Of course, some equipment was bought with this. Oh, by the way, I actually forgot to mention it, but I don't think you noticed, or no one kind of commented, but I kind of actually redid a little bit my room. I bought extra equipment. It's cheap equipment, but I found on YouTube suggestions how to, you know, order from Amazon really good cheap equipment just to improve your video output setting. So I did that. First to read. Thank you, Drop Bar. Please don't be embarrassed this time that you're sharing as a blessing thing. Oh, thanks so much. It's very nice of you. Thank you so much. No way to fix. It's a good question. Probably there is a way to fix. Just I don't want to now go typing and exploring and just breaking the stream, trying to fix it. So I'd rather just then to, you know, interact properly with you guys. Happy day before the celebration of Corpus Christi. I serve in the procession tomorrow, which happens to be on my birthday this year. Wow, happy birthday in advance, Malin Cons. By the way, yes, Corpus Christi, in some parts of the world, it's celebrated on Sunday, and in many other parts of the world, it's celebrated on Thursday, as it should be kind of on Thursday, because the institution of the sacrament of the Eucharist... Oh, what's happening? Did I do something? Just weird stuff? And no, it doesn't matter. So the institution of the Eucharist was on the Last Supper, right? The Last Supper was when Christ, before the actual Passion started. So the institution of priesthood happened at that time, and of the Eucharist. So do this in memory of me. This is my body. This is my blood. Okay, that's Jesus's words. And of course, we take those words very seriously and very literally in the Catholic Church and Orthodox as well. That Christ really, when he said those things in a very mystical way, that bread and that wine actually became his body and blood. It's like the fancy way of saying that inside of at least Catholic theology, transubstantiation. Why? Because the substance of bread is changed, even though the accidents of the bread, which is a very philosophical, scholastic way of speaking, the accidents of bread and wine are the same. So how they look, how they smell, how they taste, everything remains the same as it was before, but the substance changed. That's basically that. Hey Father, just wondering, as a layperson, should I start with Summa Theologica? I love Aquinas. I would just say, yeah, just don't be afraid. Just do it. I mean, it's going to be a long ride with Thomas Aquinas, like until you're rest of your life. It's going to be the long ride for me until the rest of my life. But yeah, just do it bit by bit. Don't go from the beginning of Summa Theology. Start with questions you're interested in. I don't know, a question of just war, for example. So is it just to wage war? And just find where that is in Summa Theologia. I think that actually is in prima secunde 40, question 40, or secunda question 40, something like that. Anyway, you find that. You read the articles, you read what Thomas Aquinas is saying, read everything, try to think before listening to his responses, and slowly grow in that. The best thing about reading Aquinas is you slowly shape your mind to think like Thomas Aquinas thinks, because he's a genius, and he's incredibly humble. And every question that he speaks about, he always tries to find the best counter-arguments to his thesis. The best, okay? Not the weakest. He wants to strong man or steel man the counter arguments as best as possible. And then he gives his answer, and then he refutes all those counter arguments, the objections, right? That's the best way to do that. And that's what we have to do when we disagree with other people. First, try to understand what the other person is saying, and then try to steelman his or her arguments. Not just what she or he is saying, but try to even improve what they're saying. And then refute it. If you're able to do that, that's going to be humble. Okay, that's going to show that you are interested in what the other person is saying. But the greatest interest is the truth. So yeah, be free, and God bless from Rome. Thanks. I'm praying for Ireland. I know Ireland, and the situation of the Catholic Church in Ireland is really bad, unfortunately. But you have incredible, beautiful tradition. Could you explain the philosophical differences between Catholicism and Orthodoxy? Captain Guy asked. I've seen vids on it, but I never really understood. Okay, well, the main difference is political-wise. Maybe some Orthodox people would disagree, but the issue is there is no unified body of Orthodox people who agree on those kind of stuff. They don't have like one magisterium, like some head or somebody who says like this is the official teaching regarding some things. Okay, like we do in the Catholic Church, we have the Pope, the papacy, so the primacy. Someone has to lead to carry the church. It's a person. We call him a vicar of Christ. Okay, he acts as the leader of the church, like Saint Peter. Christ chose Saint Peter to be the head. That's the idea. But you know, the schism between the Orthodox and Catholics happened in mid 11th century. That's 1054 is when it happened, and it's basically like mutual excommunications started happening. I excommunicate you, and the shift, the rift, the schism that happened is incredibly unfortunate because we both have beautiful traditions. The Catholics take most of the things which Orthodox have as, in a way, our own. We recognize that. Some Orthodox will recognize things inside of the Catholic Church. Some Orthodox will reject it completely. Like some Orthodox would see the Pope and the papacy are just, okay, they're a bishop, but no more than a bishop, and we recognize their sacraments, their priesthood, the baptism. Some Orthodox priests, unfortunately, I know some, who will not even recognize that if you're baptized inside of the Catholic Church, that's not a valid baptism. Only if you are baptized in the Orthodox Church, it's a valid baptism. So it's a difficult situation. It's definitely a difficult situation. I really hope for the possibility of union of the churches. I really pray for that. We need to unite the East and the West in the best possible way. Now, of course, Orthodox people will say a couple of things. Primarily the papacy, they have issue with that. Filioque, the insertion of an additional word in our creed, the confession of our faith. So basically, that's a very deep theological question of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The God is, in Catholic and Orthodox and Protestant, like just the Christian way of understanding who God is, he revealed himself as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. One God in three persons. So, and how does that function? It's interaction between those persons. The source is the Father. And out from the Father, Son is internally begotten. That would be the theological lingo to say that. Son is eternally begotten, in eternity, always going through or from the Father, okay? And from the Father also, Holy Spirit, who is the love of the Father towards the Son, proceeds or is spirated, we would say, like the breathe out. But also, in the Catholic theology, we would also say that Holy Spirit is breathed from the Son as well, not just the Father, but Son as well. So, Father and the Son, and that's in Latin, literally filioque, and the Son, filioque. Que is like an addition in the Latin, which is attached to the end, which just says and, Son and, or and the Son. So Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son. And the Orthodox have big issues with that. It was added in a definitely, I think that was a bad move from some bishops and in the end the papacy to add that into the decree and the way how it was introduced without actually gathering the whole body of the church in agreeing. We didn't invent anything new. Our argument is it's inside of the creed. It's kind of inside, doesn't change anything, just adds something to enrich it, but doesn't change theological anything. I know that Orthodox disagree on that point. I'm not an expert in that, but I definitely think that I think today, at least, we can agree on much more, and we settled many more differences than it was in the past. The primary issue is political, okay? They have autocephalic way of doing things, so each national church is has its own autonomy, okay? They don't have like pyramid kind of a structure as we do, like Pope is at the top. Each country has their own leadership. So that means autocephalic, own head, the Catholic, yeah. So political, I would say, more than theological issues in reality. I'm not really sure what's going to happen in the end with the Orthodox, because they have divisions amongst themselves as well. Most Orthodox people, by the way, are awesome. So almost everybody I met are like really cool, nice guys. They have their own issues, and sometimes, the Chad Orthodox bros, which are presented in the internet, it's not completely true, but it's easy to sell an image, I guess. Maybe semantics. If the First Council of Nicaea determined Jesus was homoousios, doesn't transubstantiation mean that Eucharist is actual body of God? The Orthodox and the Catholics completely agree on maybe the word transubstantiation the Orthodox don't like, basically, as it's like a later addition of the term, but that the species of bread and wine actually become God. They believe that completely. It's a sacrament. Eucharist is a sacrament. And homoousios means just of the same essence, of the same... my English philosophical lingua is not that good, but of the same essence, I think, is the closest one. And basically says that the Father and the Son are of the same essence, homoousios. Okay, so it's not like Father is God and Son is something close to a God, but something different. No, they have the same essence. So Father is God and Son is God. That's what the First Council of Nicaea said. And that's a key term. That's a very philosophical term, but it was a necessary term to say, to kind of understand, okay, this is what we mean that when we say there's one God and three persons. Okay, but I mean, I guess a lot of these things would be kind of maybe difficult to understand for some of you who are here in chat who are not Christian, or who are maybe not Catholic as well, or just not to know that. So I'm not sure. I don't want to necessarily kind of bother you with those kind of stuff. It would be fun to have just some video or stream dedicated more to those kind of things. If you do like it, I definitely am open to speak about that a lot. Pirate Captain Guy, thanks for the explanation. To me, as an atheist, other than the politics, which are understandable, the theological differences are small. Well, you're right. You're right. You will hear some Orthodox, even popular Orthodox, saying that differences are not small, but you'll hear a lot of them saying that they are. Definitely, we Catholics are much more open to them than they are to us. But I think that's going to change as well, and it is changing in a good way. How do you feel about non-denominational Christian? Thanks for the domination, by the way. Well, the non-denominational Christian it's a new phenomenon. It's definitely something new, because it's basically saying, like, I do not belong to any specific type of a church, but I profess as a Christian. Basically, I can say the creed, profess the faith in the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and who they are. But I don't kind of see myself as a part of any kind of a community, right? That's basically, you don't have a denomination. You're Protestant in your, let's say, core beliefs. You believe that the schism, the schism that happened from Martin Luther onwards was something that was good. Otherwise, you would not be a Protestant. But also you don't belong to some specific Protestant church, which is still understandable because it's chaos. There are like tens of thousands of different churches that were being founded. I would say depends on in what kind of a state you are currently. Like, where are you with your faith? Are you searching for more? Do you want a community? Because God wants for us a community. I would argue the best type of a community to have is like inside of the Catholic Church, definitely. But community as such, if we see from the perspective of what God wants for us, He wants a family for us. He is a family in a way, like three persons. So even there is some kind of a communion within God, and He created us for a communion as well. And for us to grow in faith, we need community, and that's kind of what's the church. The church is a community, not just created by people gathering around speaking about God, but I argue created by God Himself, the man God, Jesus Christ. So what would be my advice for a non-denominational Christian? I don't know what your theological background and education is. I would say, yeah, investigate. Read more, be open, speak with other people, have an like real, genuine desire to know or learn more about God, but about the history as well, the history of the church or churches, and about the Catholic Church in specific. Yeah, just discover more. Be open. Be open. Don't be forced by anybody to do anything. God created you to be free. Okay, so you have to think for yourself. You really need to think for yourself and to make a decision with moral certainty in the end. Where do you find yourself, or where is God actually inviting you? If you realize that there is some truth in some claims, for example, from the Orthodox or Catholic Church, concretely regarding the sacraments, you have to go more deeper in that to understand more. And it doesn't matter if the whole world around you disagrees with you. If you see that what you're doing is something which is true, yeah, you have to stick to that. Yeah, and I truly wish you luck in that process. I was kind of there in a way. I would not say that I was a non-denominational Christian, but I understand the struggle. Yeah, I understand the struggle. Okay. Well, there was a break in the stream. Now I think it's fine now. It's back. Happy Corpus Christi, going to Saturday evening Mass. Thank you so much. Bacon65, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Marcia, for with Singaporean dollars, I presume. Happy 40K. Here's to 40K more. It's 4 a.m. here. Now I have to go. Bye. Thank you so much. Marcia is a dear friend of mine. She is also a student here in Rome, in Angelicum. We're also collaborating on some stuff together, me being a part of the student chaplaincy as a priest, and she just as a layperson being active in helping the university and some initiatives. She's currently in Singapore. So thank you so much, Marcia. Thank you so much. I have to buy her ice cream or something with this. Okay. Iron Within cinematic when you get a moment to. I'm gonna watch a couple of Warhammer videos after this. Maybe just 2 videos or something like that. I really just for me to kind of redeem myself for not having the proper stream with you being able to watch and listen to the videos together with me. Yeah, I'm gonna do the recording and, well, in a way, dedicated to you and for your patience for actually, yes. Again, thanks for being patient with me. Trench Crusade? I've heard of Trench Crusade Oasis because a bunch of you have been mentioning Trench Crusade for like months ago. Yeah, I haven't delved deep inside of that. I just know that gates of hell have been opened and there's like fighting against demons in. Is it like more like World War I kind of a setting, beginning of the 20th century? Yeah, I could check it out. I do have to choose kind of where I go, but I could check it out. Thank you so much also, FinLive62228. Hello, Father. I was wondering what you think of the unlawful consecration by the SSPX coming up next month. Personally, it kind of saddened me. Wow, well, personally, it really saddens me as well. For the context, SSPX, the Society of Saint Pius X, the traditional wing of the church, I would not call it a wing, but a specific part of the Catholic Church where people mostly focused on the liturgical part, the traditional part of the liturgy, celebrating the old rite. There were issues. I understand them. I don't celebrate the old rite. I celebrate the Novus Ordo. I have profound respect for the old rite, though. Okay, so I really want to find the truth and a balance, and I hate just dismissing some things. For the context of you who are not inside of the Catholic Church, there's some like kind of weird and big stuff happening inside of the Catholic Church. A lot of voices are rising, and there's possibility of just excommunications happening. I know good people, and even a lot of good people, just being thrown out of the church for their disobedience. From their perspective, they're not being disobedient. They just want to be faithful to the teaching of the church and to do that which is most holy. But in the end, they are being disobedient to the current pontiff, the current bridge between the church on earth and that in heaven. The pontiff means a bridge, Pontifex Maximus, the one who creates bridges between heaven and earth, right? Which is the Pope. Okay, so if the Catholic Church, if the Pope says like you cannot do that, it's a wrong thing to do. You cannot, without permission, consecrate new bishops, or bishops consecrating new bishops. That's what they want to do. It's going to be automatic excommunication if they're going to do that. That already happened in the past, and we can still feel the rift. I'm really sad if it's going to come to that. I think it would be a big tragedy if that happens. I think it's going to be a big tragedy. How important are chapels in hospitals? I think they're very important. I wish every hospital would have a chapel. If only they would have more chapels, I'm sure they would have less abortion clinics. Controversial thing, I guess. But yeah, I don't think it's that controversial. I think everybody who is the right mind, even though if you may, I'm against abortion in all cases. I never think that killing one being is justified for the sins of another person. Okay, someone was, evil was done to a woman. I don't want to say the word. Maybe the YouTube will censor me. I don't know. But grape stuff happens, and the reason for the abortion. You're killing one being, human being, a person. because of evil which was done to you. No, it's terrible. And just why make it more terrible? So if we have more hospitals, in chapels and hospitals, I'm sure the presence of the Lord will be more in the hospitals, and that will happen less. We need to help people who have been damaged. We need to help those who carry traumas. We need to be there for them, and not to abandon them and just to profit out of them. And what are abortion clinics and just sucking the money out of people in the most disgusting ways and putting incredible damage. I mean, I know many women, okay, especially as a priest. You have people coming to you in confessions. There's, women are carrying wounds, traumas because of the choices they did. We should never hate them or, I went in a weird direction right now. I'm sorry. Just I want to express support for the women who are suffering because of the bad choices they did. I mean, it's an objective bad choice, evil that they did. If they repented, God forgave them, absolutely. But it's a wound which people carry. People coming back from war and making bad decisions inside a war veterans, PTSD carrying, oftentimes good people, but struggling. And, their body carries the wounds. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Wow. I need to read all this. A little extra for school supplies. Thank you so much. It's Hampo, $20. Thank you as well. Wow. Your guys are way too generous. Hey, Father, I'm planning to creating a new cooking tomato variety that could grow here. Irish weather. Oh, in Ireland. Would it be good to give some seeds to my parish so Italian priests visiting can get fresh cooking tomatoes? LOL. Yeah, that's funny. I wonder what that kind of a new tomato variety. I love tomatoes, by the way. I'm Croatian. We're just the other side of Italy and Dalmatian coast of Croatia. So that part of geographical part of Croatia, which is the coastal part on the sea, on the Adriatic Sea, it's very much influenced historically by the Italians. So of course, a lot of food is very much similar or identical to Italian food on that part. I love pasta and I love tomatoes. It's like one of my earliest favorite memories of eating something is my grandma from Dubrovnik making pasta asciutta, which is like the most basic type of pasta made with a tomato sauce. Nothing in the tomato sauce other than tomatoes, but olive oil and the right dosage of spices, oregano, and I don't know how to pronounce everything in English, but it's just so delicious. So yeah, do that, man, and help the parish as well. So when people visit who are Italians over there can really enjoy that beautiful pasta and the tomato sauce, the salsa. Okay. Greetings and many blessings, Father. Thank you so much, Clint Beastwood. I was wondering if you would react to a story summary of Soma by Gingy. What is that? One of my favorite horror stories that really dives into the complicated topic, what it means to be human. Wait a second, I'll have to write that down somewhere. I'm just gonna use the, not to forget, I mean, sometimes typing is okay, but oftentimes stuff that you write, it's safer. So just gonna write, I will not promise 100% I'm gonna actually react to it, but I am promising that I'm gonna check it out, okay? And if I see it's a good way, a good thing to make a reaction on for the YouTube channel, yeah, why not? So I cannot make, promises for the reaction stuff. I have a lot of things waiting for me, so a bunch of you kind of advised me to react on a bunch of stuff, and I'm interested in most of those things. But I'm gonna check it out, I promise. And thanks for the donation, absolutely. Thank you so much. Let me just check some of the comments of the people who did not donate, because I want to kind of leave you out of everything. Punishing, is there some kind of a, oh yeah, punishing the do you punish the child if it doesn't exist yet? And theologically, would an aborted child go straight to heaven? Well, it's a theological conundrum. We don't have the concrete magisterial statement of what happens to the child that is aborted. What we do know that a lot of Satanists, evil people, have been doing and are still doing abortions, they almost see it as some kind of their own sacrament, you know, doing something profoundly evil. What they're believing is that the child will not go to heaven, and that's why they want to do that. Okay, I definitely believe the child is not going to hell. Is there like kind of a special place, unique place reserved for those innocent children who were being killed? I don't know. Will they go straight to heaven? I don't know. I would like to believe it, but when you kind of distance yourself from the topic and start theological reasoning in that, it's not as easy as it sounds, because someone might get a crazy idea of just to slaughter everybody who did not yet reach the age of reason, which is what, around 7 years old, approximately. Depends when how fast the child grows, where you can make conscious decisions, like morally good or evil decisions. Okay, so killing everybody before that to assure that everybody goes to heaven, no, of course not. It's absolutely crazy. So I mean, just a case of it's a very difficult. What kind of a life will that person have with no father and mother that does not want it? Well, there are a lot of people who want to adopt. And it's better to have a difficult life than no life at all, and at least give that person a choice to grow and to receive love from someone, even though they maybe will not receive the love from their biological father and mother. And the argument actually from the suffering is not a strong, good philosophical argument when you start thinking, or just try to put yourself in the position of someone arguing against that. And you'll soon find arguments that you'll see it's not like, but that person's suffering, we're bringing that person to the world of evil and misery and suffering, so it's better just to kill. Like what? Seriously? Is that the argument? Like, that person's not going to be happy, so we should just eliminate that person? Okay, so let's say that you are living in a society where society constantly oppresses women over there. And out of love for the women, you want to abort women children because you don't want them to be born in a society where you're going to suffer, but you're going to allow for men to be born over there. Suddenly, when you go to that kind of an example, maybe like reductio ad absurdum, you realize, if you're going to apply that kind of a principle to other cases, you immediately get into problems. I understand the argument. Yeah, we don't want other people to suffer, but you're doing a greater evil this kind of way. And again, there are some people witnessing today, walking around, say, I was abandoned. I was a victim of great evil. My mother was a victim of great evil. She gave birth to me. And I'm here, and I'm glad to be alive. You have a lot of people, unfortunately, like that. Not everybody's going to admit it or say it. They don't need to. I mean, by all means, it's a very courageous thing for someone to say those kind of things. But, yeah. Okay, questions. Wow, you have awesome questions, and it's very difficult to answer all those questions in such a short way, especially because I'm not a master in theology. I mean, okay, literally, I do have a master's degree, magister in theologia, but there are a lot of people much more knowledgeable than me. I'm here for you, though. That's the difference. And I love difficult questions because that pushes me to think and to improve, to advance. So thanks for that. I don't mind. The more difficult questions, that usually they're more sincere and honest. And I appreciate the honesty. I think we should struggle with those kind of questions. Avatar Jin, thank you so much for the 20 USD. If you do another 40k video, I would really recommend The Emperor Confronts Horus by DQVO. I'm also a lapsed Catholic, could use advice for me to fix that. Okay, well, thanks for the honesty regarding being a lapsed Catholic. I know how that feels. I'm going to write also The Emperor Confronts Horus, just to have it on my paper as an option. Thanks for the suggestion. Regarding the lapsed Catholic, it's not that hard. So first of all, do you know anybody who's Catholic? Who's like normal and a Catholic? Sometimes it's a rare commodity to find like normal Catholics, younger Catholics, someone who regularly goes to Mass, who still struggles with their own issues and sins, but genuinely believes and it's not just faking it or doing it for the sake of publicity. Yeah, if you know someone, reach out, connect. If there's a friend, speak. If not, don't worry. Check where is the nearest parish with a normal priest. Now again, if there is no normal priest in the near vicinity, find a guy whom you can at least, you feel you can approach that person and just say honestly, look, this is my life. This is what happened. I'm struggling with faith. I would like to return. I'm not sure why, how, what is the process. I really would appreciate a guidance. And he will help, because normal people help. And the priest is supposed to help in those kind of situations. So don't worry, don't be shy, don't be afraid. I was in the exact same situation. Unfortunately, I had a bad experience as well. One of the priests actually threw me out of the confessional. That's a weird story. And I forgive him. I was probably a pain in the at that moment because of my questions and just doubting everything. And he didn't know what to do with me. So he was afraid. He did a bad thing. He threw me out. And I could have just say, like, to hell with all that. I'm going back to whatever kind of life I was leading. I was not leading a very virtuous life, trust me. But I decided to kind of suck it up, shed 2 tears, yes, and then go to another church and have a normal confession. Just, omitting some stuff which obviously it was not time for those kind of things. And then later on, do a big review of my life and scheduling a meeting with a priest to do something that's called a general confession. It's basically sitting down with a priest and going through your whole life. Okay, whole life. Everything, not just the sins that I did, but also going to the causes of sins, the wound that I received, my relationship with parents or other people, the first time that I've seen and done something, exposure to pornography when I was a kid, and like the things that kind of put me on a path, on a descent of more and more sin in my life. I was wounded. I was also personally responsible for many bad things that I had done. So I just want to put everything in front of God. You do have a right to do that as a Catholic. You have priests for that. And they should be there for you. So, I'm going to be praying for you, honestly. And just go forward. And God is going to open the doors slowly. Okay. Emperor confronts Horus. Okay, thanks, damned man. Thanks a lot. So this may be an odd question, but there's is a talk of an emperor of mankind waking up. What do you think he will make of people worshiping him as a god? Okay, that's an odd question, but sure. I love those kind of speculating questions. What do you think about that? That's a good question. What do I think about that? I think emperor does not want to be worshipped as a god. Even though he currently allows it in a weird situation that he's in, being on a throne for 10,000 years. So he allows it up to an extent because it kind of keeps the empire, the empire stable. But my opinion, if he's really going to wake up, and there's talk of that, it seems, in the new edition that is going out, he's maybe going to just get away with the whole ecclesiarchy and do weird stuff. Or he's going to turn completely into the Antichrist figure that he already is, by the way, Antichrist figure, but he can go even further and just accept, like, yes, I'm a divinity, worship me. And maybe he thinks that would be accumulating of specific type of energy, which would give him more power to fight against the chaos deities that he wants to defeat. I don't know. But interesting question. Okay. Why don't Christians have the same food restrictions as the Abrahamic faiths? I know Lent is a thing. Okay, thanks Beaches to 145. Thanks for the donation. Why don't we have it? Okay, well, in the New Testament, we know that after the resurrection of Christ and Christ ascending to heaven, the first Christian communities started to live and function. The new questions were arising, and one of the questions was actually food. So there was a groupation of new Christians, those who are Jews, and also those who are Jews, but also the pagans who converted and became Christians. So there were different opinions on how to live. Should we kind of follow the Jewish laws as well or not follow? And in the end, God himself just sent a clear vision directly to Saint Peter, saying that what I have cleansed is clean now, and you're allowed to eat everything. So all those Jewish laws which prohibited the Jews to eat that, for example, shellfish, well, pigs, of course. Pork is like strictly forbidden because there are so dirty animals. All the animals that are in a way connected or associated with something that is base or more dirty was prohibited, forbidden. Those animals which are best are actually those animals which can be used as a temple sacrifice. Anyway, God, after the resurrection, Jesus Christ, after dying, he made a difference. And that difference is also in the food that now we are allowed to eat. It has been cleaned. Lent is a different thing. Lent is a preparation. It's a willing conscience sacrifice. I'm giving up on something out of love for God, okay? Not to the level I'm going to damage myself, but a level to know that, okay, the amount of food that I eat impacts my life because we're hylomorphic creatures. That's a Greek word, hylomorphism. Hyle and morphe, like basically saying that we have a form and a matter. We have a spirit and a body. And what we do on a physical level impacts us spiritually and vice versa. So when we're fasting, that's going to impact our mental and spiritual state, okay? Spiritual, I mean our relationship with God. Our intellect and will directed to truth and to the goodness, and recognizing God as the true and the good. So fasting is for our sake, to prepare ourselves to be closer to God and to experience during the year the moment of the resurrection, the Easter, to be able to experience Easter in a special way. So it's good for us. It's healthy to fast, but we're not doing that just for the sake of it. There is a concrete reason. And if there is a reason also when we should break that fast, even though we kind of said like, I'm going to fast very strictly and perfectly during the whole Lent, but then we have having a visitor, for example, a person who I haven't seen for 20 years, and maybe that person is not really in faith, but close, and that person brought some kind of a sausage with him, and he wants to share that with me. And I said, I'm not going to eat meat during the whole Lent. Am I going to deny the piece of sausage from that friend and kind of scandalize him as well, to reject him, to reject his offer of love, of self-giving for me, the communion, the friendship that we have, especially if I haven't seen him for so long, just to stay true to my decisions in this case? No, because greater love in that moment is actually accepting that sausage. I'm doing that for the love of God. So the point is, the fasting should be out of love of God, not just my personal well-being, wellness, health, but out of love for God primarily. The acceptance of a sausage is also out of love of God. Are we allowed to be vegetarian? Yeah, I mean, sure, we're allowed to, but we don't have to be. And we can kind of sometimes break the rules on our nutritive decisions or how we're going to eat, etc., if that is done out of love for another. So yeah, that's just a genuine opinion. It's not a sin to eat pork, and pork is delicious. Okay, let's see, a couple more questions. I'll be here like, I think we can have the stream until it will be 11 p.m. in my place. You're all over the world, so it's gonna be different. Let's see, a lot of things that you write. Oh, do tell that story of how you got thrown out. Why did it happen, Pirate Captain Guy? Okay, I'm gonna share the story, since you ask. But before that, I'm gonna drink some water. Actually, before I tell the story, I'm gonna do a celebratory thing. Now that I'm thinking, why am I even having the earphones on my head, which is sweating, when I'm not listening to any videos anyway, because you cannot listen together with me. But I'm gonna bring something. Regarding your questions about food, I'm gonna introduce another aspect, and that is drinks. So, am I allowed to drink alcohol? Yes, I am. Drinking alcohol is not a sin. Drinking a lot of alcohol would be a sin. Everything that impacts my intellect, which is the purpose of our intellects, is to know and to know truth concretely. And our will, our ability to make choices consciously, to choose what is good. Our will has to be oriented, is always oriented towards what is good. But we can, with misguided intellect, we make wrong judgments about what is true, and then the will clings to something which is a lie and thinks that something is good, which is not actually good. So we need the sharpness of our minds in order to make right decisions and cling to good things, to make good choices. But choice is something that we have and we need to have. And if we consciously make decisions which take away from our ability to make those good choices, that is what we would call sinful. Yeah, that's if I take drugs, like especially heavy drugs, which impact my ability to know, to have the cognizant functions. Did I say that correctly? Cognitive functions, right? And impacting my will to make choices, proper choices. Yeah, that's sinful because I'm created in the image of God. And if I am consciously, not because I have to take a medication and that's impacting me, but just consciously doing that, playing around with that, and kind of damaging or temporarily removing my most noble part of me, that's a sin. But a little bit of alcohol is not like that. Jesus drank alcohol, we know that. He drank wine. So, isn't that like a perfect perfect way to approve of something? That doesn't mean that Jesus ever got drunk or that he ever approved of people getting drunk. No, it really does matter if you're in a wedding, place. You can drink a little bit more. It's a party. It's a big celebration. So it's kind of normal if people are going to drink. The first miracle that he did on the behest of his mother was at the wedding of Cana. So he allowed people to drink more. That doesn't mean that he wanted them to be, excuse my French, pissed drunk, and rolling in the mud and vomiting and stuff like that. No, absolutely not. But yeah, being a little bit drunk or like tipsy or just very merry, happy, that doesn't have to be a sin. Context is also very important. And remember, the Jewish parties, the parties of Israelites of that time, were kind of crazy. They lasted for a couple of days. It was not just one afternoon. It was usually a couple of days. Okay, you had to be incredibly poor to just have a wedding that lasts just one afternoon. So Jesus multiplied the wine. He gave the wine over there. So people drank that wine. So drinking wine is not sin itself. So I'm having here, this is not an advertisement. It's a Croatian liquor, a Croatian spirit. It's called Travarica. I don't know if you can see it. It's a type of rakia. Rakia is like a spirit in Croatia, type of strong alcohol. And it's used for many different things, for health purposes, rubbing it on the belly if your belly is aching, or your head. It's usually what grandmas are regularly doing, or just drinking a little bit of a shot before the meal. Oftentimes people are doing that in Croatia, men or women, younger and older. And this is like the mixture of different herbs. Herbs or herbs? I like to pronounce my H in there, herbs. And it's like a stronger alcohol, and it's very good for toasting. It's delicious, bitter, but tasty. So I want to make this toast to all of you guys, just as thank you. Thank you for the support for my first year of being here together with you. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. I'm happy to have started doing this. I'm incredibly blessed to have the support from all of you. I'm really honest because I appreciate it. I'm a weak human person who sometimes just needs affirmation and support. And it's nice to receive it sometimes. I don't like too much of that. I kind of run away then. It's not healthy for me to be praised too much. But when we are down, we need a helping hand, and just for someone to say, you're good, thank you for this, and the small things. So yeah, your genuineness is what I really like. So thank you for that. Cheers, and we say in Croatia, živjeli. God bless you all. Okay, maybe I should have done it at the beginning of the stream, but I think I'm already talkative enough. I don't need an extra help from a Croatian spirit in a dance. The loaves help soak up the wine. That's true. The loaves of bread. Yeah, that's a fun. That's true. Okay, Jiveli. Oh yeah, thank you everybody. That's cute. According to the ancient Persian tradition, an idea or a decision is only a good one if it sounds good both sober and intoxicated. Well, I'll have to think about that. I don't know what to think about that. It just sounds funny. An idea that has to sound good. Wow, it has to sound good if you're speaking it when you're intoxicated or when you're hearing the idea when you're intoxicated. That would be the first question that I would ask. Because no matter how smart you are or the good the idea is, if you're intoxicated, it probably will not sound that profound. It might sound funny though, but you're gonna have issues simply expressing with proper eloquence. Respectfully, thank God for bacon. Well, I would agree, but I have completely zero issues with people who don't want to eat bacon not to eat it. Yeah, I respect that as well. I'm glad that God allows me to eat bacon, but if out of your convictions you're not going to eat it, if I'm in a restaurant with you, I'm not going to order it, and I have zero issues with that. You know, I can eat exclusively vegetables if necessary, if it's going to be offensive to you personally. But if we're in a larger amounts, groups of people, yeah, I cannot cater to everybody's wishes. You know, just like a normal thing. RV, thank you for the Joshua Graham video. Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank God for that. It's just an hour reaction, which kind of exploded. Just me being me, I guess, and saying things what I think about. It's a fascinating phenomenon with the Joshua Graham, and fascinating that a person who wrote the character is not religious, even though that person is very close to becoming a Christian, I think, if he did not become already, because there's a lot of respect that I can see in the writing process and the research process. There's no like ideological motivations in writing. Just a person wants to write a good character and stay true to the source material in a way. And that means staying true to the theology, staying true to the history of specific religions, not blowing it out of proportions, hyperbolizing something just to attract attention for the clicks. Yeah, so I really respect when something like that happens. Oh, sorry, Pirate Captain Guy. You're right. I have to say it. Okay, so the context. The context is this. I'm 26 years old at that time. It's 2016. I'm working in Dubrovnik. I finished my 4-year degree in international business in an American college. And I started working. I had no idea what I'm going to do. So I wanted to start some kind of a business, do something good, great. You know, classically, you want to do great things, but you're incapable of anything and you had no idea what you want to do. So yeah, in the end, you just have to suck it up and accept any kind of a job. But I was working, I had like a practice during my study already. I worked during the summer in a good corporation that manages different hotels in Dubrovnik, which is the most touristic part of Croatia. I was born there. So I already had connections over there, and they wanted me to come back because they already know me, so it's a secure job. So I said, yeah, sure. I asked them, I can work there. So I worked there for a year, and that's the first time in my life where I was alone, living alone, like for a prolonged period of time. It was very good. So I was researching a lot. I think I watched every conspiracy theory ever invented, or some of them are true, but we're not going to go into that today. I watched all of that. I was researching different religions, listening to the arguments, you know, faith and science kind of a stuff, but especially starting to become more and more enchanted, fascinated by the Bible and what kind of a weird book that is. It's like the more you research about the Bible, the more it's obvious it's not just a human book. I was watching a Protestant pastor actually called Chuck Missler, or Meisler, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. He is deceased now, God rest his soul, but he had a profound impact on me because his way of thinking, I simply liked it. He was like an IT guy who was like in the military as well, and I don't have an IT background, even though my father has. I think in a way which is more mathematical. He thinks in that kind of way as well. And I trained martial arts, connected with some people in the military, so I like that kind of a thing as well. So he clicked for me, and his zeal and love for the Bible, and he would make just crazy connections based on like statistics and his analysis through information technology about the Bible, which I was like, wow, what happened? Anyway, he impacted my conversion process. When it happened, it struck, and it struck heavily. So immediately I went through like a complete crisis of my life. Everything starts to change right now. What's going to happen? I know I cannot be the same person anymore, ever. I have to change my life. I was not living a moral life. I mean, I needed to change how I behave, but also how I think. And it became very scary very suddenly. So anxiety attacks, etc., etc. I knew the first thing that I have to do is just kind of clean my conscience. I need direction from someone. I need help. I need to speak with a priest. Okay? And I knew a crucial thing for me is not to pretend. I just need to be honest. Am I a believer now? What does that even mean? I don't know. I have doubts, and I want to share that doubts with someone. I needed someone just to hear, to listen about me doubting about something. And that person, first person, actually was a priest. Yeah, a Jesuit priest. I know many excellent Jesuits. In Croatia, Jesuits are actually very good. I know that in a lot of parts of the world, Jesuits are not the best, unfortunately. They're straight away from the path of the original, from Ignatius of Loyola, you know. But anyway, in Croatia, there are a lot of good Jesuits. But yeah, I stumbled to one guy. I knocked on the door, I asked for a confession, and it was not like a confessional, more like a room. And inside of the room, you could choose. You could choose to kind of kneel and be behind like a screen, or just to sit on a table. From one side would be the priest, and the opposite side, I would be sitting there. So I asked him to sit, because I felt, yeah, I need to see the eyes of a person in that moment for this kind of a conversation, confession, whatever. And maybe this is going to last as well, so it's better to do it sitting. So, okay, we sat together, and he was really nice. He looked at me and like prayed the small prayer at the beginning and said like, I'm listening. Okay. And we started speaking. Actually, I started speaking. And I started just expressing all the doubts that I had about God, about Christianity, about faith as such, about my concept of having faith. What does it mean to have faith? Do I have the faith? I cannot know whether I have the faith. The concept of faith, I'm afraid to actually believe. And like, I was just being honest. But it can be sometimes a little bit tedious and hard, especially priests are, in the confessional at least, are used to simply people coming and saying their sins and asking for absolution, because that's the form of a confession. Okay, priest acts as a mediator between God and men, and through the church, Christ gave the authority to the priest to actually absolve sins, which is an amazing, incredible thing. And I have that authority as well. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, priests inside of the confessional, in the context of confession, are not used to going into deeper conversations, because usually they have other people waiting in a line to just confess their sins and to be absolved of them, to be able to continue living properly, you know? Anyway, there's me just rambling about things regarding faith and my doubts and my nervousness, my anxiety, my questions, which were not an easy questions, just kind of went to him in a way that he started to be nervous and he started to be anxious and he didn't know what to do. So I don't remember detailed, that's how many, like 10 years ago from now? Yeah, I don't remember the details what happened, how did it look like, but at one moment he simply could not do that anymore. So he just stood up And he said, no, I'm sorry, go, you have to go. No, there's another. And he just pushed me. So I tried to speak with him. I tried to say a couple of things to him, but please, but this, but that. And he was just, no, sorry, you have to go. I'm sorry, go. And he basically, pushed me out. So I left, and just utter confusion in my head. I'm leaving the church, I'm exiting, and I'm thinking like, what just happened? Did I get actually thrown out of the confessional? Is this my fault? And like, what? So I remember just standing, like leaning on a stone rail, which is nearby. Dubrovnik is whole completely in stone. It's absolutely beautiful city. If you never saw it or visited it, you definitely have to, by the way. Anyway, and I'm leaning on the stone rail and just thinking about what to do now. Now, I knew this is like a pivotal moment. A pivotal moment. If I choose to reject, to say like, to hell with it, or I think my mind was using more creative curse words at that time, or I'm gonna, simply bite my tongue. I'm gonna suck it up and find what to do next. Just, take the blow and continue going. So not thanks to me, but thanks to the grace of God, he helped me. God at that moment must have poured an incredible amount of grace that I was able to choose the appropriate way. Because if I chose the wrong way, I would not be here together with you now. I would not be Catholic priest. I would not be Dominican. I would not be happy. Even though I still suffer and go through weird stuff in my life. I had clinical depression when I was younger. I had weird and difficult childhood and growing up. And I carry all the wounds in a way. I was a high school dropout, carry all this kind of weird stuff in me. I still will struggle with some stuff. But I cannot deny that I'm living an incredible life. I'm incredibly thankful for God being with me and to act through me. Anyway, I did make the right decision, and I went to another church and just had the first confession just in order to know, okay, I did something which I knew I had to do. After that, I actually asked for advice of my mother to recommend me a priest who can actually have a deeper, concrete conversation with me and to do the general confession, like a long confession, my whole life. I'm going to say the whole life to the priest inside of the confession context, just giving all the sins, but all the context of that sins, those sins as well, to God in front of the priest. And that guy was actually Dominican. I had no idea at that time because I had no idea about anything. And that day when I had a confession, I'm sharing that with you all guys. Not a lot of people know that, but that day was actually St. Dominic, 8th of August. That day when I made the general confession, just pouring, giving everything to God in front of a Dominican priest. It was in Dubrovnik on the feast of St. Dominic, and it was precisely 800 years since the founding of the order of preachers of Dominicans. Yeah, kind of crazy. So later on, when I kind of accepted the vocation, the call to become a priest, I kind of backtracked to see where God wants me, and the signs were quite strong for Dominicans. Thomas Aquinas, very strong sign because he helped me. That's a story for another time regarding my failing high school, being the dropout, and really, really difficult period in my life. Thomas Aquinas actually helped me to get out of that. Weird, crazy, but too much to say in just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to skip it now. It's going to be a cliffhanger, right? But that's why I chose Dominicans in the end. Yeah. So thanks for the question. Yeah, I have no issues with sharing these kind of aspects of my life for those who are generally interested. Anyway. Salve care sacerdos, gaudo te directe transmittere videre. Gaudo te directe transmittere videre. So like the direct transmission of the video. So hello, the dear priest. I'm grateful to, or I'm happy to, to see you doing the live stream, I guess. Gratulaciones tibi de quadringentis milibus sectatorum. Sectatorum, is that the right Latin word, really? Interesting. Thanks for the donation, by the way. Sectatorum. Yeah, thanks. Congratulations for the 40,000 subscribers, Sectatorum. You're a legend. Yeah, thanks so much. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Beaches, again for the $5. What if first contact with aliens was discovering they believe in God? Oh, so what if they look like us? How would that change humanity and religion? Look like us? Oh, that's a new question. I never thought about that. It would be a question like, what do you mean I look like us? Are they humans just then? What do you mean by aliens? You mean just are not living on Earth? And by that definition, they're aliens. So they're same species as us in a way. I mean, first of all, if they possess intellect and will, they have been created in the image of God. We know for just two, I cannot say species to be theologically precise, the types of beings. Two types of beings are created in the image of God. Angels and humans. Because we humans are one part animal, other part angelic, basically. And I mean the immaterial part of our existence, of our being. That's intellect and will, okay? Angels are just pure intellect. They also possess will, but they made their decisions, angels, to be with God forever. Because time is kind of different in outside of space-time continuum to which we're restricted. Demons are basically created angels who chose to forever not do God's will and to alienate themselves from their own natures, angelic natures. Anyway, if someone, an alien, would show up who possesses intellect and will, my first reaction would be, you're an angelic creature or a human. That would be my first reaction. Now, is it possible, maybe, that God created other beings together also with an intellect and will? It's possible. In the vastness of space, the argument goes that there has to be another species. I mean, maybe life forms, sure, that's completely thinkable. Intellect and will, that's a different thing, because that's a leap. God had to give that to us. It's not something evolution can bring. Just suddenly you have immaterial faculties from being just an animal to actually being an animal with an intellect and free will. No, that's something more. Anyway, that's an interesting question. How would that change humanity and religion? I don't know. We'll see if that happens. I don't think it's going to happen. There's a lot of talk about UFO, by the way. I think most of the UFOs are just more advanced technology or something that we don't know yet. Or downright demonic stuff that's happening, because that's possible. Now, I'm not the judge to say like this occasion, this event or that event is kind of science stuff and this is kind of more on a spiritual basis, like actual evil forces manipulating us for whatever purpose or wanting to deceive us. I have no idea. So I do enjoy reading or watching videos about that from time to time. Like I said, I did a lot of conspiracy theories before, so nothing will surprise me, so to say. I do think that we have to use our reason, and we can speculate, but let's not go fanatical about it. I can have an opinion on something, but not allow that to necessarily impact my whole existence in my life. Yeah, but still, thanks for the question. Yeah, so God is the creator, that's a good response. God created everything. So if aliens, in a way how we imagine them, like sapiential creatures in a way, intellect and will, like having wisdom, potential for being a wise creatures, right? Then yeah, God created them as well. Kennedy Montoya, I was an adult convert to Catholicism from Protestantism. Can you speak about the Dominican role in the Counter-Reformation if you're knowledgeable? God bless you. Thanks for the question. I'm not that knowledgeable. There is one thing that I can definitely point out, and that is Pope Saint Pius V, who is a Dominican Pope. an amazing pope, incredible pope, very much hated in his time inside of the Catholic Church as well, because he was a reformator of the church. All the bad stuff and the people, priests as well, the clergy who were not living properly, he brought that into order. He completely renovated the liturgy. He abolished a lot of different liturgical rites. Everything that was younger than 200 years was abolished. And he was very famous. He propagated a prayer of the Rosary a lot, because the famous battle against the naval battle against the Muslim Turks on Lepanto, probably the most epic naval battle in the history of the world, because you have a smaller Christian force against a larger Turkish force. Don Juan is the one leading actually the navy. It's like amazing event, and you have a pope who says whole Rome has to pray for the success of that, and he has a literal vision, like the first television live stream, first live stream in history. He saw the victory of the Christian army over there, the liberation of, I think, like thousands or even tens of thousands slaves that were on the Muslim ships, and he announces the rejoicing for the whole Christendom. Kind of really epic moment in our history. But so he definitely was very important. The Council of Trent was crucial, and a lot of theologians were Dominicans in the Council of Trent, because you had to make distinctions regarding what the accusations were from the Protestants, what was true regarding that some Catholics, or maybe a lot of Catholics, and definitely those in the hierarchy of the church, were not living properly, but the actual faith, deposit of faith, the creed, the magisterium, how to defend that properly. So there two issues were there. And Luther at the beginning, when he supposedly kind of hit those 5 theses, probably he never actually bolted it on the door of the cathedral. But anyway, when he published that kind of a thing, he was much milder than he was later on. So he changed a lot of his theological views. He was very much devoted to Blessed Virgin Mary, for example, unlike a lot of Catholics are today. Unlike unfortunately not Catholics, but Protestants are today. And he was recognizing some sacraments. Yeah. So, like the Eucharist, he was much more closer to a Catholic position in Eucharist than most Protestants are today. Anyway, Dominicans as theologians helped a lot, specifically the teaching of St. Thomas Aquinas, because on the Council of Trent, which was between 1545 until 63, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong by a year or two with the dates. But actually, together with the Bible, Summa Theologiae, the famous work, the most mature work of Thomas Aquinas, was put over there because the clarity of the Catholic teaching was encapsulated inside of Summa Theologiae in a beautiful way. Not 100% of that is completely correct inside, but those things which aren't are actually more on the natural science part, which Thomas Aquinas took from Aristotle, and Aristotle couldn't have known everything from the natural science perspective. So, of course, the conclusions which even Thomas Aquinas would have made were not perfect. But anyway, the Counter-Reformation was very much connected with the teaching of Thomas Aquinas. That much I know. Regarding the specific individuals, Dominicans were doing some things. I'm not that sure. I'm not that knowledgeable. I would like to learn more. I know that some of the reformators, such as Philip Neri, was very much connected with Dominicans. He loved the Dominicans. He would first send all his penitents on the confessions if they wanted to become religious, first to Dominicans and then to Jesuits, because he had like a famous, fun type of a squabble with the Jesuits. But he respected them a lot, nonetheless. And so I would like to know more. Thanks for the question. You kind of interested me as well with this question, and God bless you too. I love, by the way, the art, the Renaissance art of the Counter-Reformation. It's absolutely beautiful. Like Peter Paul Rubens, is one of the most amazing painters of that era, and he was commissioned to do a lot of art pieces, specifically counter-Reformation period. So, putting the Eucharist in the focus was a big thing, an important thing for that purposes. But usually, like a lot of papal insignias and stuff like that. Usually, those parts of the teaching which were attacked from specific Protestants, those parts were especially then defended or put into art in order for, in a visual way, for people to be aware of them and to learn through the visual media. Yeah. Did you, asking Pirate Captain Guy, did you ever come across that first priest again? To be honest, I actually think I did. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not 100% sure who he is, but I think I did. And later on, as a priest, actually, he doesn't remember me and he doesn't know who I am. But I think I did, yeah. I have zero resentment, by the way, absolutely zero resentment, because I understand him. And I understand it's a good lesson for me as well. Like, we priests, we carry our weaknesses as well, okay? And it's the glory of God that does crazy, wonderful things through the weaknesses of priests, okay? In spite of the weaknesses of priests. That's the amazing thing. So, yeah, it's a good lesson just to have more understanding. Nobody's perfect, and I'm sure I've done bad things as well without even knowing. And yeah, I'm grateful in a lot of occasions, just people actually telling me. I am afraid that people would kind of stay silent or be afraid to tell me if I did something bad, because how can I correct that? How can I do something better if I don't know I made a mistake? Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for the question. It's, yeah, I had no idea we're going to go in that direction, but I really appreciate the question, Pirate Captain Guy. Yeah. Okay, Rubenesque was a thing. Yeah, Rubenesque. What's your opinion on Salvador Dali's painting Corpus Hypercubus? I think I know that image. I don't have an opinion on that. It's a very famous image. It's a weird kind of impressionistic type of. Is that correct? I'm not like especially educated in the arts. I know I like some kind of art styles more than others. I definitely think that some kind of art styles should be preferred inside of the churches, inside of the liturgical context, but I am okay with modern art as well, just in their proper place. Some things are called art which isn't, and let's just be more honest about that as well. But I don't have a specific opinion. I never kind of took that piece of art, Picasso's, right, and kind of more contemplated on it, thought more about it. What's your opinion about it? Yeah, surreal. Yes, surrealist. That's the right, not impressionist. Thank you for that, surrealist. Yeah. I said this in your comments the other day, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about the album God Kid Mad City. Mad City. Good Kid Mad City. I never heard of that. But someone going from life of crime to converting to Christianity. Oh, wow. It's an album? It's a whole album? Good Kid Mad City. Oh, it's a whole album. That's a little bit too much for me, maybe. But mad. I'm just gonna write it out. Modern art. Yeah. Well, we could go in a philosophical question: what art actually is. That's the issue. From your Rogue Trader, let's play and love your Warhammer reactions. The more deeper stuff like the Last Church. Yeah, Last Church was my first reaction video actually, and I think that was a very good first reaction type of a thing. I think it kind of clarified the direction, which what kind of a channel I want this to be and what kind of a person I am as well, because The Last Church is just science and faith dialogue. It's not the perfect dialogue by any means, and the arguments aren't perfect by any means. You know, St. Thomas would do much better arguments for atheism than the arguments which were presented there. So I think the atheist arguments should be steel-manned, but definitely the faith ones as well. You know, yeah, we Catholics have much better arguments for our faith. I'm actually just mentioning that now, I have a research. I'm writing a dissertation, a thesis, licensed thesis here in Rome on motiva credibilitatis is in Latin. It's called motives of credibility. And I'm actually researching, I want to know better that moment of transition from someone who is not a believer to someone who is a believer. It's a personal thing because I want to understand my conversion better as well, but also understand conversion of other people as well and help them in that process. Because in the Catholic teaching, for you to become a believer, you have to have a motive of credibility. What does that mean? You have to have a sufficient reason to accept faith. It's not a blind faith. It's grounded upon something, someone, okay? A lot of credo Catholics have a very strong motive of credibility, and that is the people who love them gave them the faith. So I trust my parents, for example, in this case. Like, my path was a little bit different because it's like a mixed household. My father still is not basically Christian, more into Eastern spirituality. My mom is very much a very devout Catholic, but she came from a New Age wave first as well. She had her conversion. Anyway, we need someone to believe. So if someone gives us the faith, a good motive of credibility is I trust this person, that this person is giving me something which is true because that person loves me, so I trust the person. Similar way how I trust when I go inside of a car that the producer of that car did not make something for the car to explode. So I take something on faith because I cannot know everything, and I trust someone, okay? I trust that so imagine if I was kind of married, you know, and I have a spouse. I trust that my spouse will not stab me to death in the sleep. Okay, trust her for something. It's a belief. I cannot prove anything. So to believe, to have some kind of a belief, it's not against the reason. It's very much normal human way of using our brain. But we have a sufficient motive for that kind of a credibility. Now, we need a sufficient motive for the credibility in the Catholic revelation, in the Christian faith. And Jesus Christ and his words, his life, is the strongest motive of credibility. The miracles which he did, the resurrection. And when you start researching about the history of Christianity, Jesus Christ specifically, what was written in the Bible, is that historical or not? It's a very good thing to research, and you're going to be surprised if you're an atheist, like how much it's actually historical. One doctoral thesis was actually defended in front of all atheist panel about the event of resurrection. It was defended that resurrection is a historical event. It's crazy, but all of them were atheists, so it was not done in a way, you know, but we have to believe, you know, it's a matter of faith and stuff. No. Let's just use a reason, and let's use all the historical sources, and let's get to the bottom of this. So you can do that, and it has been done. So miracles and resurrection as the primary miracle is a strong motive of credibility once you actually understand and see that it was real. Prophecies, Old Testament prophecies that were fulfilled in Jesus Christ, that's crazy stuff that's happening over there. Statistically, it was impossible for him to actually fulfill all the prophecies. It's crazy. Mathematically speaking, it's bonkers. It's absolutely crazy. So it's a very strong motive of credibility if you're researching prophecies. But also, if anybody ever saw someone prophesying actually about something and it came to be, it's a good indication that that person probably knows something more. Some kind of force, spirit is acting through that person. So, you know, it's a motive for credibility, definitely. Which I already mentioned, like the witness of the church. Primarily, that's usually the parents or the community, but also friends. A lot of people converted because of friends and normal people. Path of my conversion was part of it, at least because of that. I finally managed to meet some normal, good Christians, Catholics, who like to go out and drink, would drink together with me, but also enjoyed deep philosophical, theological conversations, were not afraid to be normal and to witness their faith at the same time. Before I didn't know that was possible. I needed that. Now I'm kind of that guy who wants to show that you can be normal. I'm not completely normal, you know that, but I'm still myself, and I can have faith. It's not weird. And the motive for credibility for me, which is very strong, is the actual coherence of the Catholic faith. It all makes sense. It transcends the reason. You cannot penetrate completely. It's not like a mathematical code or informatic, like a programming code. We can understand it. You cannot understand the mystery of Trinity, but you can understand it does not go against the reason. Okay, and all the deposit of the faith throughout the history. Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of awesome. It's really awesome. So all of that was kind of important for me in the end. Specifically the witness of some people, but my research, the integrity and the beauty of faith. I love faith. I love the truthfulness. I love truth primarily. And I primarily, as a Dominican, we have our motto, Veritas, which means truth. We know that God is the first truth, and the contemplation, the prayer act, is a desire to unite yourself with the divine truth. Okay, and having received something from God who is the truth, we want to share God who is the truth to other people as well. And that does not exclude scientific truths as well, by all means. So yeah, I go to rants and then I forget about whatever the question was. But anyway, thanks for the questions anyway. Let's just do, I'm going to answer to 2 more questions for the donations which you gave me. And thank you a lot for the donations, especially for the biggest donations. Thank you for the bottom of my heart. Alma specifically, thank you. Really, 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 like a huge thank you. So I'm going to answer that, and then I'm going to finish the stream. So it's going to be already like 2.5 hours. More than I expected. I don't mind. And I thought we're going to react together to some kind of stuff, but it's just me still interacting with you. Yeah, I'm happy with that. You have awesome questions, and you're not afraid to ask me difficult questions as well. And I'm glad for the grace that I'm not afraid that I'm going to be embarrassed saying I don't know something, because I don't think that's a shameful thing. Just say, look, I know some things, I don't know other things. I don't know this yet, but I'm interested. I want to learn more about that. I think it's not a shameful thing. We should all be prepared to say that. Okay, first, thank you so much for the $5. Drop Barracks. I cannot see the whole name, sorry. If you have an opportunity, the Neurosama video that I think your input would be very interesting. A Strange and Human Conversation. Yeah, I was mentioning that video. I guess I haven't yet made a reaction. I should definitely make a reaction. I did make 2 Neuro and Evo Sama reactions. I don't know that anything changed in the last couple of months, since half a year. I don't know how much has it passed since I reacted. Yeah, I actually have it on my to watch list. So thanks for the suggestion. I will do that. Alma, thank you so much. Vidistine pelliculam Regnum Celorum. Si vidisti tibi placuit. The Regnum Celorum, the kingdom of heaven, pelliculam would be like the movie. Have I seen? I guess pelliculam. Don't know the word pelliculam. You're awesome. I've seen it, like the Kingdom of Heaven. I mentioned it. I actually want to make a reaction on that movie, an extended version. I've never watched the extended version, and I've watched the normal version a long time ago. I just remember some cool moments in the movie, but not the whole movie. So I think it would be very cool to have a Catholic priest actually watching that movie. It's kind of I think a lot of people are mentioning the movie similar to Joshua Graham type of a character video, so the Crusades and the environment we're living in a weird time right now. And I do think that we need to speak about those things connected with the Crusades to fight for the right thing, but to prevent mindless slaughter as well. Because when people break mentally, they can do bad things. And we don't want that, but we want to defend the truth, the good, and the beautiful. And we have not just the right, we have an obligation to do that. Yeah, I would like to watch that again and actually share that watching with you. And I think I liked it when I watched it the first time. It's kind of the epic movie. I like battles and historical stuff and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, is that it? Oh, there's one more question. Okay, I'm gonna do the last question. Thank you again, Alvan1L, for the donation. So you're gonna be the last. Please don't make any more donations. It's a weird thing to say, but thank you for all the donations. Huge thank you from me. While not religious myself, I do enjoy the community you created here, as well as philosophical and theological discussion. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. I do want a community that's welcoming, not just, welcoming from my side. I really, care for you guys between each other, just to be nice, normal to each other. I already kind of had one time where I had to ban a person just because the person was rude and mean and flaming other people. I can handle that kind of stuff, but the righteous anger awakens me when I see other people being mean to other people, humiliating, demeaning, and stuff like that. I've experienced that myself a little bit, but unfortunately, I've experienced a lot of that watching other people humiliate people that I love, and no, not gonna happen. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the thought for liking the community. You tend to bring in your gameplay reaction for the most part. Keep on doing the good work. Thanks so much. Yeah, I really do want to at least with this endeavor, the effort, the reactions and everything, through the medium of something which is fun and interactive, to kind of do something which is good and valuable, for our mutual growth in virtues. And growing in virtues disposes us to meet and to learn of God. Okay, being a better person, being someone who cherishes and appreciates truth, is definitely more disposed to accept the higher truth when that higher truth presents itself to him or her, or presents himself to him or her. So yeah, just on a natural level, us growing together and being better, I'm happy with that as well. And I'm always happy being a priest, being a Catholic, being a Dominican, to just share my religious Catholic Christian life together with you, to, yes, evangelize. I am not afraid of evangelizing. I really dislike, not to say hate, but yeah, kind of hate as well, when you have bishops, even bishops, who don't want to preach the gospel, who don't want to evangelize, who are proud and never baptized someone. No, man, you're missing the whole point of your life, and you should not be doing that. We should never force anybody. We should love and respect everybody. But when you love someone, you want to share yourself. When you love something, you want to share what's best that you have with other people. The best thing that I have, it's not my voice, not my conversation. It's the presence of God and my faith. Now, the way of sharing that is diverse. We can do that in many different ways. I just want to, do it in a normal way. So I appreciate your comment a lot. Yeah, it's very supporting. And final thank you for John Moran. Have a blessed feast of Corpus Christi. May God bless everyone here today. And yes, may God truly bless everyone here today. And through the intercession of Blessed Virgin Mary and all the saints, because they are the church in heaven, they're together, united with Christ, and we want to be united with them together with Christ. May God pour all the graces on all of us, everything that we need to live a life of flourishing, not to run away from difficulties when it's needed, and to be there for other people when they need us. God bless you all. Thank you for being here with me. This was not so bad, other than the embarrassment which I had with us, the reaction. Have a good one. Yeah, have a good one, Pirate Captain, as well. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you soon. And you know what? This streaming is not that bad. I think I'm gonna repeat this experience, and the next time I'm going to figure out how to actually share the sound, the audio of the videos which I'm listening together with you. I promise you that. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it will happen. Thank you and goodbye. God bless you.